Hello, and welcome to another B.T.F.O. And now we are in December. It is our countdown to Christmas. So, we're going to start with Silent Night, the 2023 film, starring Joel Kinnaman. And I would say avoid this movie. When I went and saw it, I was kind of excited because I saw Fat Man in 2020 and I really liked that. I didn't see Violent Night, but I heard okay things about that. I still haven't seen it. I might go through and watch it this year. But then we had the trailer for Silent Night, and I thought it looked alright from the trailer. I thought it could be kind of cool having a silent protagonist. But that's kind of where the issue starts, where yes, there is a silent protagonist, but also most of the cast is silent. Like, there's very, very little dialogue in the movie, and it's incredibly dull throughout, because I don't like using boring as a criticism, because that's super subjective. I think a lot of the time when people say, oh, something was boring, a lot of the time it means, well, I wasn't engaging with it. And I don't really think that's a fair criticism. But I would call this boring, and I'd say because of the fact that I was engaging with it, it made it boring, where so many of the scenes, it's really clear what's going on. Like, you get it from the first 10 seconds, anywhere in that range, you understand what the scene is, and then it just continues to go on. And the fact that there's no real dialogue, it is all visual storytelling, but it's I put it together. Can we move on, please? If you're not going to have any dialogue, if nothing else is going to happen, if I already understand the point of the scene, then let's go. Let's just move on. And it's kind of a shame, because I do like Joel Kinnaman as an actor. I think he very much could have pulled off being a silent protagonist. But it's just it's irritating that it's so there's no one for him to interact with there throughout most of the movie. There's no internal monologue. There's no, for the most part, he doesn't have personality traits. He's very much oh, I'm depressed about my kid being dead. Oh, I'm gonna bulk up and get revenge. And that's it. That's basically his character throughout the movie. It's okay, I kind of wish that we could have done more. And it's well, so if you're gonna have a silent protagonist in your action movie, then your antagonist should be very over the top, right? And it's no, once again, unfortunately, he's not. Which I think is kind of a shame, because they get somewhat close to it, where near the end, he's wearing a Santa jacket, but then he actually takes that off before the final fight, and it's damn it, you've set this at Christmas of 2022, which I did think was kind of interesting that because they show us a calendar, and so I don't know if the film got delayed or if they just didn't think about that while filming, but technically it is a period piece of 2 years ago. But the action, when it's going on, it's fun. But it's like, it's very quick and is like over before like too long most of the time, which is disappointing. And easily the best part of the film, for me at least, which I know they didn't intend, but the last shot of the film is fucking hilarious. Because, so basically, right before the, like, last big action scene, right? We've got Joel Kinnaman goes to the cemetery, and he's carrying, like, this big present that he was gonna give his kid, the Christmas before, but then he got shot, incidentally by, like, the gangs. Like, the kid was just outside and happened to get shot. So there's no, like, the gang doesn't have a personal, like, grievance with Joel Kinnaman's character. He's just sort of some guy, which could be interesting if they did something interesting with that, but they don't. But so he's got this present, and he, like, goes and visits the grave, and, like, that's all we see, and then, like, the whole action thing plays out. And then the very end is the wife character. She is, like, reading out this note that Joel Kinnaman left at the grave, and then it cuts to her at the grave reading this out, and it turns out that that gift was a model train set, and Joel Kinnaman set it up around the tombstone, and so while she's reading it out, there's this little model train that's just going around the tombstone. And they thought that this would be like a really serious poetic moment. I'm just thinking about like the fucking hour that Joel Kinnaman sat there unboxing the train and setting it all up before he planned on going to murder a whole bunch of people. And so, like, I think that's the highlight of the movie. But overall, would I recommend this? Absolutely not. I mean, maybe if you want to, like, fast forward through a whole bunch of it, like, if you just want to watch the action scenes, then, like, go ahead and watch that. It is kind of weird. They got, I think it's J. Cole, is, like, he's a singer, or a songwriter, singer, and he's in this as an actor. He plays the detective, and it's kind of a weird choice because, like, he doesn't do a bad job, but he also doesn't really have anything to contribute. Like, there's no material really for the detective, and so it's like, you could have gotten anyone, like, but for some reason, like, they got him to sign up for this. And I do remember, because this is a John Woo film, and I haven't seen too much of John Woo's work. I did see Mission Impossible 2 for the first time earlier last year when I was getting ready to watch the Sixth Impossible film that I hadn't seen any of the others, but and for some reason, even though I recognized the name in the trailer, like, I recognized that, like, oh yeah, I know that guy, but I didn't associate it with, like, where I knew that name from until the opening of this film, and, like, it popped up and Joel Kinnaman's, like, running through the street in slow motion, and that's when it hit me of, like, oh god, oh no, now I know who this is, fuck, like, great. Well, let's hope he pulls it off, and sure enough, he disappointed. And yeah, it's kind of sad. I think it's a neat premise that you could do something with, but unfortunately, they really didn't. But that's going to be it for now. So, bye-bye.